Yo, what is up? And welcome to Big Kid with Will Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling kind of all right. The weather is actually kind of picking my spirits up a little bit. I don't know about you guys. I think it's really hard to be in a good mood when it's 12 degrees outside. So the fact that I don't have to wear 4 layers right now is kind of nice. I like this time of the year because it motivates me to do something with the space that I have. I am lucky enough to have what technically is a backyard. Now I live in Bushwick, so a backyard in Bushwick is very different from what you may envision a backyard being. If I say backyard, you may think, grass, nice fence, maybe a dog or something. Dog house. My backyard is like broken glass, fast food, garbage. A lot of just empty vapes for some reason. Empty packs of cigarettes. I don't know why. It's not like it's a public space, but either people are like doing these things on the roof and throwing it down, or next door somehow. I don't know. Or Bushwick has the craziest winds of all time, and shit just gets blown into my backyard. I have a lot of cats in my backyard. I'm kind of a cat dude. I take care of 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 cats, like on a daily basis, upwards to like 8 or 9 sometimes. Yeah, but like there's no real grass back there. There's a lot of weeds, I guess, that grow. And like once a year, I have to like pull all of that stuff out. These vines, they grow like Jumanji, bro. They just, if it rains one day, suddenly Jumanji happens in my backyard. Just vines grow everywhere. I go out to smoke and one of them grabs my arm. I have to yank it away. I'm looking out for some hunter that's gonna hunt me down with a bow and arrow. It's Bushwick, my Bushwick backyard. There's no mowing the lawn. There's picking up the broken beer bottle pieces in my backyard. Or the headless birds that my cats leave me as presents. They literally decapitate birds and just leave it there for me. I go outside and there's just feathers all over the place. I'm like, oh shit. It's another crime scene, another fucking kitty CSI. I walk around to where the feathers gather more, more densely, and then I see like a headless bird just decapitated. Just his kappa was detated, just chilling there, and the cats are all just looking around like, "You're welcome. This is my gift to you. A decapitated bird." Multiple times they've done that. Anyways, this is what a Bushwick backyard is. This is my backyard. It's about that time of the year that I go into the vines of Jumanji and hack away. I usually take a before and after picture. This year I'm gonna try to do that, and also maybe even just record the entire thing in like a fast forward, fast motion kind of thing. Um, Reason I want to do that is because I do have once it's clean, once it's deglassed and devined. Um, in case you're wondering, they're not vineyard vines; they're Jumanji vines. They're different. In some ways, just as dangerous, but different. Um, these Jumanji vines. Once I clear that up, and clear up some of the broken bottles, I like to host some little get-togethers in the backyard. We have like a charcoal grill in the back that we fire up from time to time. We also have a fire pit that we fire up, quite literally, for both. And we've I've invited my friends over and set up my DJ equipment in the past, and like we'll chill around the quote unquote campfire, the fire pit, and we actually made s'mores at least a time or two while some of us played some shit on. Some of us DJ'd, took turns DJing. It's fun. It's good stuff. I've also, we have also thrown some much bigger events in our backyard. We have a quaint little duplex with a backyard here in Bushwick, and we have taken advantage of that in the past and thrown some. I guess you could call them parties, but at least one of them got a little out of hand. But definitely twice, maybe 3 to even 4 times, I've thrown a party here in my backyard that lasted like 10 hours, one even like over 12 hours. And I would go from like 4 to 4 or something like that, or 5 to 2 or something like that. And I would have, I don't know, 5, 6 different people going up and DJing. Most of them my friends, but at times for some of the bigger ones, I actually got some of my some acquaintances, some people I met through parties and whatnot to come and DJ at my crib too. So I'd have like 8 of us going, 9, 10 of us going. I'd give like hour sets to most people, hour and a half to like the co-headliner. I think I gave myself 2 hours. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Of course, I put myself last. What did you think? If / when I do that again, I don't think I will put myself last though. I don't. It's not as fun. I'm in charge of everything else. I'm in charge of running the entire party, and then I have to go last. I actually kind of want to maybe just run the party and get really. I used to get really fucked up too, so it wouldn't really change anything that I did. But at least I wouldn't have to, spin while really fucked up. I don't know how I got through those sets, but it was fun. I called. Let's see, what were they called? The first one was, of course, Vibe Fest, or It's a Vibe Fest. That was the first one. I've had like 2 of those at least, actually. The first It's a Vibe Fest was a lot of fun. That was quite literally just me and most of my friends that I kind of gave a crash course in DJing, and for one night we all kind of put it together for like 12 hours, and really that one there was probably a good, maybe I want to say 30 people that came through, maybe 40 for It's a Vibe Fest in our little backyard. That was pretty cool. But then one summer I threw something called No Request Fest. And No Request Fest was when I got three outside DJs to come through, on top of like me and some of my friends. And that one was, so I had not only my entire crew that came through for the first party, but now we had three other DJs bringing their entire crew. And it's funny, the number of people that were in that backyard varies depending on who you ask. I feel like 50 is like the minimum number. It was probably closer to 60 maybe at one point. I've had people tell me who were, either just as drunk or fucked up as me, and perhaps some of them even more sober than I. I've had people tell me that they felt like there was 100 people in my either in my backyard, basement, upstairs, everything, like at the same time. I don't know. That one might have gotten a little bit away from me. But it was really fun. It was really awesome. And I don't know if I'll throw something like that in my backyard where I feel like it got a little bit out of control. Especially because that one, our like upstairs neighbor like woke us up knocking on the door, and like we answered, and she started yelling at us and cursing us out. And she was cursing us out because somebody had vomited in the hallway, and we had no idea about it. So I was there all night, and she came to knock on our door at like 10, maybe 11 in the morning. I want to say maybe 10, maybe even earlier. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe it was like 8. And yelled at us, and I was just like, Jesus Christ! All right, dude. All right, lady. I had no idea. I'll fucking clean it right now. You don't have to yell. And we did. We cleaned it right away. And then we got a text from like our upstairs neighbors from all the way at the top floor who were actually at our party, who were pretty cool about it, but they said that there was a lot of garbage left on the roof, so we went on the roof then, and just me and my girl just cleaned that up too. So even though I never gave anyone permission to be on the roof, apparently a lot of people were on the roof, and someone threw up in my hallway. Shit got out of hand that day. Still a really fun time. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I do it differently? Yes. I hate when people ask themselves questions and then answer it. So the fact that I just did it twice in a row really pisses me off. I'm sorry. I apologize from the deepest part of my heart. Am I upset with myself? Yes. Am I ashamed that I'm doing this right now? Yes. Do I want to stop? Yes. Am I wondering why I continue? Yes. And am I wondering why I stuttered? Yes. But my buddy, my biffle, Keith, just hit up the chat today and was like, I miss everybody. We'll throw a party. And that's what kind of got me thinking about all this, believe it or not. Oh, I have to clean the backyard so I could throw a party. It is fun. It's a good time. I don't think I'll go till 4 in the morning. That's messed up. That's mean. I got to be a little bit more responsible, and we can still have a good time, but I gotta not 4 in the morning anymore. That's just mean. I think it was the first little pseudo festival or one day fest that I threw back here before I even technically lived here, but I was just like staying over. My girl lived here first. Then I moved in once her roommate moved out, and we took over the 2-bedroom. But at that time, I was just, I literally threw like a party in their backyard, and I didn't even live here at the time. But we had like these 2 hammocks set up in the back for people just like chill and lounge out, during the party. We had seats, hammocks, whatever. It was really cool, really chill. And then everyone's fucked up. We all, I go to sleep, whatever, and I get like a text, or I forget if it was a text or if I'm reading a chat, like one of those group chats that we're all in. And I'm pretty sure it's my my friend Jay that was like, oh, when we left, like someone, like some dude was just in your backyard or something. I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, and we like left, and he was there when we left. And so all I gathered from that was like, so the last person in my yard was like a stranger. It wasn't even my yard technically, but whatever. But the last person in the yard was a stranger. So I opened the curtains and there you go. I clear as day. There's a dude who I recognize as just like the local kind of drunk guy. Always looks high on something, not sure what. And this dude, who I always see like just walking down the block or standing outside of like the nearby brewery, Queens Brewery is like literally a block away. Even though I'm in Bushwick, Ridgewood is a block away from me. He'll be outside of that. Always looking a little rough, like he had a rough night. Well, I look in the backyard and this dude is passed the fuck out in one of my hammocks. From that day, he pretty much came to be known, at least in my group of friends, my circle of friends, as Hammock Guy. I look out back and I like respond to the chat. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, he's right there. He's knocked the fuck out, sleeping in a hammock in my backyard after a party that I threw that he was not attending. And I knew, damn it, I had to be the one to go out and deal with this. This is like what it is to have a yard. You know, if you have a yard in like Long Island or some nice suburban area, you know what you deal with? You deal with like maybe some like wildlife coming around and messing with your garbage. Maybe a tree overgrows, you know, and you have to get somebody to like trim the branches or whatever. That's, you know, yard work and yard care in normal areas. Yard work in Bushwick is to get the local crackhead out of your hammock in the backyard after you threw a party till 4 a.m. That's what it takes to be rolling rock. Do you have to kick a crackhead out of your backyard after a rager that you just finished throwing? Rolling rock. Is there a stranger in your backyard that you did not invite to the party last night? Rolling rock. I don't have to worry about, you know, fertilizing my grass. I don't have to worry about buying the correct seeds. Oh, is that Kentucky bluegrass or is that... No, it's some other type? Oh, okay, cool. No. I have to worry about getting the local crackhead to cease sleeping on my hammock. Please, sir, cease and desist your crackheaded slumber. He was out, dude. He was out. So I remember getting up and I was like, all right, I am the best example of like a man right now here. Because it was like me, my girl, and her roommate. And even though her roommate it probably is tougher than me, it was my party. So it was my crackhead. It was my responsibility. That's a mantra that I live by in life. If you throw a party that results in a crackhead sleeping in a hammock in your backyard, then you have to stand up and be a man and get rid of that crackhead yourself. There's a couple of moments in your life that define you as a man, as like moments that either make you or break you. and kicking the crackhead out of the hammock after a goddamn mini fest that you decided to throw in a backyard that wasn't even yours yet. Sidebar, let's talk about that. I basically little fingered my way into this entire place. There was a roommate here. I threw a party, and within a year, after she tried to kill me by breaking my ribs in the bathroom, y'all remember that story? I got rid of her and took over her yard for good. Game of Thrones this fucking duplex with a backyard. This is my Vale, the Bushwick Vale. So I had to kick this crackhead out of the hammock. So I remember I got up, I probably procrastinated like a motherfucker. I stretched just in case this turned into a fight. Like, stretching is going to help me, you know? Like, what am I, just not going to pull a muscle on the way down as I get knocked out? At least, you know, imagine I get knocked out and I wake up with a pulled hamstring too, and I'm like, how did I get that? Fucking should have stretched out, at least. Even if I'm still going to get knocked out and lose the fight, I'd rather wake up with just have being knocked out and not getting knocked out and pulling a hamstring on the way down. My girl would be looking out the window like, yeah, you fell awkwardly. Like, it looked like you popped something. You didn't even get knocked out gracefully. That's how you know people really get knocked, like someone's really knocked out, when they look stupid. They never fall cool. It's never like in wrestling. You get knocked out and they're just fucking nice and flat on their back. No, you get knocked out in real life. You wake up, you have to go to the dentist because you fell face forward into the concrete. You're like, damn, did he fuck up my teeth? Like, no, he hit you in the chin. Then the concrete on the way down, that fucked you up. Your nose, your teeth. This is what I think about. This is what I worry about. So I stretched. Because if this crackhead was going to wake up and knock me out, I wanted to be limber on the way down. Not popping a groin and getting knocked out. Say my first rodeo. It is the first time I had to kick a crackhead out of a hammock before, though. So, I manned up. And I walked out. I had to go downstairs through the basement, walked out the door. I was hoping maybe that the sound of the door opening, because it kind of does this creak that every time you open it. I was hoping that would wake him up, but no go. So I closed it kind of hard, like, still, this motherfucker was out. So I go up. This dude's just so comfortable. I've never seen a crackhead look more comfortable. Like, in his head was like a lullaby. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. He was swaying in a nice summer wind. And in his head, he was just frolicking in a field of cocaine. You know, like, he was just having such a good time. Sleeping. So peaceful. Peaceful crackhead. I remember the way I woke him up. I was like, I could give him like a little nudge, like grab him a little bit and be like, hey man, you know. But for some reason I decided to go with a kick. Not like a hard kick. I like stood up. Well, I stood up. I was standing up and I gave him like one of these, if you can see it, like that, you know, like a. If you remember way back when, and I described a story where my friend Dave berated our friend Ant while he was driving because he never heard of the courtesy honk. Pop, pop. He's like, you never heard of the courtesy honk? Pop, pop. It's like nicer than bam. You gotta get a car out of your way. He doesn't realize that the fucking light is green because he's on his fucking phone and shit. You don't want to be a dick about it, so you go bop bop. It's nicer than just bah. That's being a dick. Don't be a dick. Bop bop. All right, courtesy honk. I gave this guy a courtesy kick. Pop pop. I walked up to the hammock. I didn't fucking punt him. I didn't go bang. Hey, fuck you doing in my backyard? I didn't do that because I'm afraid of getting knocked out, pulling a hammy on the way down. Even though I stretched, I might have not stretched that well. All that stuff is run. I don't have dental insurance. I don't have insurance in general, but dental insurance for some reason really, I don't have that. I don't know why that bothers me more, but so I gave him. Dave was in my head, bop bop, and I gave him the little tap tap. So I walked up to the hammock, and when you're sitting in a hammock or laying down in a hammock, and your ass is just hanging. You're swaying. Your ass is just very vulnerable, just chilling, held up by a piece of cloth. So by the way, dude had his shoes nicely placed on the floor next to him. So this dude, he didn't just pass out in the hammock. Nah, he got in the hammock. He looked around. He was like, this'll do. And he took his shoes off because it wasn't like they were tossed around. Nah, they were perfectly parallel to each other on the ground next to the hammock. They were just perfectly placed. And then he laid back and just rock. Come on, baby. He just went right to sleep, man, in the hammock. So I remember thinking, if this does turn into a fight, at least I have footwear. Oh yeah, I didn't go out in slippers too. I remember I definitely put on sneakers and laced that shit up. I was like, I need ankle support. I'm gonna need some ankle support to deal with this crackhead. Not only did I not want to pop a hammy, I didn't want to twist an ankle. I didn't want the fight to be over because I got scared and jumped back and twisted my ankle, and then he just pounces. Man, I'm surprised I didn't put on knee braces. If I had them, I had hand wrap to train in boxing and shit for those 3 lessons I took once. I'm surprised I didn't wrap that around my hands before going out. So I go out and I give him the courtesy kick. Pop, pop, little tap, tap, right in the buttocks area. I kicked him right in the ass. Pop, pop, twice. I remember. In a row, I just flexed my ankle like this. Pop, pop. That's what it was like. Hey, crackhead. Pop, pop. You're on my hammock. Pop, pop. Excuse me, Mr. Crackhead. Can you please get up? So what happened is I kicked his ass twice like this. That's what happened. And little groggy. And guys out there, when you talk to another dude that you don't know, and for some reason you try to sound like more of a dude than normal. So I go, instead of just talking to this dude like this, I'm like, yeah, yo, so for some reason I do, it's all right, so yo, I'm just saying, I don't know why I just started, trying to be more of more bro-y or more dude-y, I don't know, but this ain't your backyard, yo, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And he was confused. He's like, what? And I'm like, yo, you're passed out back here. This, they say you don't live here, bro. It's in your backyard. And I'll never forget this. This crackhead sits up in the hammock and turns around and looks down at his shoes. And without even looking at me, he just starts putting on his shoes and he goes, "You'd be surprised." That's it. With those 3 words, that fucking crackhead had me looking around. Like, I was like, you'd be surprised. Like, because remember, I don't live here yet. I will in the future. I will have little fingered my way into that fucking duplex with a backyard down the road. But at that moment in time, did not even live there. And here I am, pop, kicking this crackhead in the booty, waking him up, telling him, hey, bro, you don't live here, but you're passed out in this backyard. And he gets up, the Undertaker, doesn't even look at me, too good to make eye contact with me, and he goes, you'd be surprised. I looked around like, did I wake up in the right place? No, I'm good. I'm good. No, you definitely are in the wrong place. I'm in the right. Yeah, I'm in the good. Fuck, man. And I just looked at it. I was like, nah, this definitely not your place, at least. And he just gets up, fucking puts his shoes on, and shuffles right on out. And I actually pass this guy all the time on the street and the sidewalk. And I have no idea if he remembers that or if he remembers me from that night at all. He might remember me as just the dude that lives on the block, but I have no idea if he remembers that I gave him a little pop. I don't know if he remembers that I gave him a little on his booty and told him, hey, bro, you don't live here. And I don't know if he remembers that he was like, you'd be surprised. And had me kind of fucked up. You got me fucked up for like 30 seconds there. I'll tell you that. Point of that story is thinking about throwing another party. That's what I was trying to get at this entire time. Thinking about throwing another party. Got to clean the Jumanji vines. I think we still have at least a hammock or two. I need 2 hammocks, man. I need 2 hammocks. Not that I want to invite that to happen again, but I am ready just in case, hammock guy. I am ready just in case, hammock guy. Give him a little pop warning in the booty, and then wake up, bro. It's time. Should I keep the Jumanji vines so that if I get in a fight with the fucking hammock guy, the vines suddenly, that's when they come to life, like, and the hammock guy's like, no, oh no, the vines, they turned against me. And I was like, yeah, bitch, what you think? Those are my vines. And he just looks at me as the vines envelop him, and he goes, you'd be surprised. And I would look at him as the vines were fucking just eating him up and still wonder, like, are they my vines or not? This fucking hammock guy got me fucked up, man. Hammock guy. I think about him a lot. Mostly, this might sound dumb, mostly when I see him, but I see him so often, and he's just always so busy, like just getting fucked up. If he put his hustle into getting fucked up, if he put that into like any type of entrepreneurship, this dude would be the Gary Vee of Bushwick, bro. I swear to God. He'd be like, instead of sleeping on hammocks, he'd be turning my hammock into an NFT or something, man. He would just be crushing it. He's always like, I've never seen him sober, and I'm like, wow, that's impressive. That's impressive, man. Because it's not like I've ever seen him like on his way to work. Not once, ever. He's never been like, oh shit, God, I'm about to miss the fucking train. Nah, never. I've never even seen him get on the train. Dude, one time, so I threw a party once at a skate park overnight. That'll be an entire episode on its own. So I'm not gonna get into that. I literally just thought about it. I don't think I've ever talked about that. But that'll be Vibe Fest 2. I'm talking about parties today in my backyard. Vibe Fest 2 might be an entire episode on its own. Because Vibe Fest 1 went off without a hitch. It was beautiful. A little nice, quaint party in my backyard for like 40 of my closest friends. That was nice. My friend Monica even like gave all of my friends that DJ'd that night a framed picture or framed copy of the set the set times. All of us on a little poster together. It felt really cool. Still have that. Still got that. That one was nice. Vibe Fest 2. Stay tuned. But I was doing some recon for the location of Vibe Fest 2. And I was at the skate park that throws after hour parties. And I remember I had closed the Diddy at like 4 in the morning. Got out of there at like 5. Got to this skate park at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was still going. Someone was like DJing and someone was like trying to rap or whatever. And it was the DJ shit was set up right in the middle of a half pipe, literally where skaters skate, the middle of a half pipe. And you were allowed to like climb up the side of the half pipe and just sit on top and chill and watch. And I remember being up there and just smoking and drinking and watching. And suddenly, hammock guy walks in. And he takes his shoes off, and he just starts dancing in the middle of the half pipe with his socks. They just socks on, just slide it around. He actually had like a nice little old school house shuffle going on. I was like, yo, this dude, all right. I was like, of course he's here. Of course, the only party that I ever see this guy at is an after hours at a skate park at 6 in the morning. He was just enjoying life. There was no hammock in place. There was no hammock in sight, I should say. So he had to cut a rug. He took his shoes off, dude. He was just slipping and sliding. You know how like when you're in your house and you got just socks on and you think you're like the illest dancer ever? That's what he was doing in public. Everyone else had shoes on. It's not like it was that he was just joining the party with the shoeless party. No, he was just shoeless hammock guy. Slipping and sliding in the middle of a half pipe at 6 in the morning. Moral of the story, I want to throw a party. It'll happen. Hopefully sooner rather than later. There's another party that I'm not going to talk about too much right now, or at all really, besides just the fact that it's coming. For my 11 friends that this affects directly, y'all know what's coming. I have been running a fantasy football league for, I don't know, like 14, 15 years now. And I throw a live draft party every year. That's usually the last Saturday in August. So it's about that time, boys, that we start talking about it. That'll be another party in and of itself. But yeah, gotta clean up them Jumanji vines, put up some hammocks, make sure there's no hammock guy in them this time, and throw another little get together. Be nice. Speaking of parties, I don't think I talked about this was this last weekend? If it wasn't last weekend, it was the weekend before. I don't know, but I don't think I talked about this. But it was my friend Lenny's birthday, and we all went out to some beer garden and then some venue around here in Bushwick, or was it Queens? No, technically it was Queens, but it was really close to where I live. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't give Lenny a code name because fuck Lenny. He told me I should. He's the one that told me I should name this fucking show Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude with Will Bryant. Schadenfreude with Will Bryant. So no, you don't get a code name. You're Lenny. By the way, Lenny, not even a nickname for like a longer government name. It's not like his name is Leonard and we all call him Lenny. No, he was named Lenny. Named Lenny on purpose. Fucking Lenny. It's funny because I've always thought about this. I don't know if I've ever said it to them, but Lenny, for like a while, I always associated like these two dudes together, Lenny and Teddy. And they probably hate the fact that I said that just now, but I don't give a fuck. I said it. These are two of my best friends right now. But Lenny and Teddy, I think that I said right now, like they can fuck it up any minute now. Just let's see how they react to this. They're my best friends, two of my best friends right now, but let's see if they fuck it up with their reaction to this. Be cool. Or we're over. We're done. All right? So, Teddy, also not a nickname. Not Theodore. It's not short for Theodore. His name is Teddy. On purpose. Again, both of these guys. Lenny and Teddy. It's like, imagine I came up and I was like, hey guys, I'm Willie. Oh, is that short for William? Nope, my mom decided on Willie. It should have been Lenny, Teddy, and Willie, but no. Lenny, Teddy, and William, motherfucker. My name is William. You want to know why? Because my mom finished my name when the fucking birth certificate came out and I was born. She didn't just stop. It wasn't like Will and then gave it away. No, I'm Will because I like Will. And Willie and William, Billy, that all works fine. But it's William. I feel so bad right now. I'm fucking trashing on two of my close friends' name. Theodore and Leonard. Nope, it's Teddy and Lenny. I don't know why Teddy got dragged into this at all, by the way. He did nothing. It was Lenny that suggested I name this show Schadenfreude. Actually, Teddy did say I should name it something else. What was it? It was like, you should name it Therapy Sessions with Will Bryant. Like, wow, thanks a lot. That sounds really soothing and inviting. You should name it Rectal Examinations with Will Bryant. You should name it Long Conversations with Your Girlfriend with Will Bryant. Oh man, I just fucking just pissed off my girl. Just pissed her off. Should I edit this out? Should I edit that out or should I leave it in? To be fair, if you were to punish my girlfriend right now, just if she like did something wrong, right, and you had to punish her right now, putting her across a table from me and just forcing her to talk to me, she'd probably be just as pissed. She'd be like, fuck. No phone? No phone. All right. Damn it. So, it's a two-way street there. You know what I mean? My girl once saw me hit she pinched my elbow skin. You know what I'm talking about? Like, she pinched the skin on my elbow until I had to go, ow. She didn't let go of the elbow skin that I had here, pinching it with her Candy Vibe nail fucking manicured fingers. Followed her on Instagram. Pinching me, and I had to go, ow. And even though I basically needed a tourniquet to keep from bleeding to death, she looked at me and was like, what? You have no nerves in your elbow. And she looked at me while I was in pain and told me that I shouldn't be in pain because I have no nerves in my elbow. At which point I flicked her in the elbow and she went, ow. I don't even think she'd let me pinch her elbow skin. But we did eventually get to the pinching of her elbow skin. And she said, ow, okay? She said, ow. What is this you don't have? I Googled it, and then there's some shit that says something about that. Like, oh yeah, you should be able to. Well, it hurt. It hurts. Anyone out there right now, fucking take something sharp. If your fingernails are too dull, if you bite your fingernails, take something sharp and start pinching your elbow skin. See if it's dull. Let me see if it's dull. See if it doesn't hurt. Tell me you don't have nerves in your elbow. My girl told me to talk about her in this episode. Here we go. I talked about you. She bashes my elbow and tells me it should be fine because there's no nerves in my elbow. What kind of domestic abusive ass shit is that? Imagine a man going up to a woman and just pinching her elbows. Nah. And the woman going, stop. And the man goes, gaslights her in the process of domestically abusing her. He says, stop being hysterical. There's no fucking nerves in your elbows. You're fine. It's all in your head. You're crazy. I just stand there. My hands covered in her elbow blood, telling her, you should feel fine. I walk away, laughing. Wahaha. That's what my girl did to me. She took her candy vibe nails and put her manicured shit, pierced my elbow skin, each side, bang, bang. Blood everywhere. I cry. She goes, shut the fuck up, pussy. There are no nerves in your elbow. You fucking coward. You pathetic coward. And she slides her nails out of my skin and walks away. Made me clean the blood. Made me clean the blood. She said, clean this mess up while you're at it. Gaslighting, abuse, the toxicity in the city. The point of this story is Lenny and Teddy should have longer names. Not sure what the fuck happened there. My name, William, because I'm a normal person with feeling in my elbows, even after the trauma I went through. So, we all went to this place for Lenny's birthday. Not Leonard, Lenny. Schadenfreude and Lenny. We all went to see Dion Cole, who was a DJ, one of the opening DJs to this thing. And if you guys are like, Dion Cole, I've heard that name. He's literally the Old Spice dude right now. He's in all the Old Spice commercials where he gets mad at his girl for like using his body wash or something. And you know that face that Dion Cole makes in like every commercial or like every video you've ever seen of him? He's like this. I love that everyone listening is just like, the fuck is he doing right now? Sorry. Watch me on YouTube. Anyways, thank you for downloading the audio version. I love you. Okay. He DJs the same way that he like looks at on his Old Spice commercials. He'll DJ like this. Like, and I'm sorry to you guys listening, but imagine my face looking exactly like what Dion Cole DJs like. Just imagine it. And if you've never seen it, use your imagination. All right, fucking do something. He was like this. It was just exactly like what you would think he would. It was like he was doing an Old Spice commercial while fucking DJing. You know, he probably smelled magnificent. Ugh. Fuck that word up. Fucked it up. He probably smelled magnificent. I was not very confident at all going into that second attempt at that word. I was halfway through magnificent and I knew that I was actually nailing it, but felt really unsure about it the entire way there, you know. But I landed it. It's whatever. I did shrooms for this party, by the way. This Dion Cole opening set. I think I did shrooms like during that. Like not shrooms, like not like the actual mushrooms, but I did mushroom chocolate. It's called it's wrapped the wrapping says magic chocolate. I went to my local weed shop because I kept seeing magic chocolate. And I wondered if it was good, if it was legit. And I figured, fuck it. What better time to try? I so rarely get like Saturdays off. And I've been training at this new job at the Comedy Cellar. And I had not just Saturday off, I had Sunday off. So I was going to go in on Saturday. And I did. And so I bought this magic chocolate. And I remember asking I go to like the hoodest weed shop because they have the best weed so far that I've tried. There's a new spot that opened up on my block. We'll see. I bought some weed from there today. Gotta support your local businesses. But the most hoodest spot always has the best weed so far here in Bushwick. There's always like, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. But yeah, I go there and I just had to make sure because I didn't want to buy magic chocolate and figure out or find out that it was weed. I don't want to do that much weed, or at least I don't want edibles like that. It's not my thing. I smoke all the time. I brought joints in there with me, so I didn't need edibles. I wanted to fucking fly on a little spaceship. I wanted to take the star in Mario Brothers. Ding 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 ding. And so I had to ask this hood-ass hood-ass clerk, this magic chocolate, it's shrooms, right? It's shrooms, right? Yeah. And he looked at me like, yeah, bro, it's shrooms. I was like, nice. All right, I will, one shroom bar, please. And it was legit as fuck. Let me just say that, dude. I did half. And I gave half to someone else, let's just say. Because I don't know if this person wants the entire world to know that he did shrooms. So someone else did shrooms. And I did them too. And, bro, we were flying. Fly high, we ballin'. I think I got the lyrics wrong anyways. But anyways, dude, we were flying, dude. And, but it was like the perfect amount for me because I was having a great time. I was still drinking. Only beer. Good time. And see, here's the thing. I love, see, I smoke weed every day. I smoke weed all the time. Quite literally every day. That's not just a lyric to me. I live that shit, bro. I quite literally smoke weed every day. Multiple times a day too. But other drugs, I'm a big fan of psychedelics, man. So acid and shrooms are two of my favorite other pastimes, you know. And I was thinking about, I had such a fun time doing shrooms the other day because it's the times I do them now are I guess a little bit more fewer and further in between than I did, you know, just a couple years ago. So, you know, it was nice. It was a nice, you know, reprieve from what I've been going through. And it got me to thinking about the first time I did acid. And I've always said after doing acid that I think that the name gives it a bad rap because it scares people away, you know? Like, if it was called Euphoria, I think a lot more people would want to do it. Acid sounds like it's going to melt part of your brain away, or at least that's like what how a lot of people approach it, and it's not the case at all. Now look, don't take this as a public service announcement and in favor of acid and go out and buy a strip right now because of me, although you totally should. Just don't do it because of me. But I did it. In fact, the first time I did it was at this festival, Mysteryland, that no longer exists, but it was an amazing festival in Woodstock, New York. And the only reason I did it was I was not going to do it, but my girl at the time wanted to do it. And she was like, I'm not going to do it if you don't do it, though. So I was like, all right, fuck it then. Like, let's do it. But I was honestly not going to do it, even though a lot of other people were going to do it. And it was the reason I wasn't going to do it is the most common reason that I hear from other people when they tell me that they don't want to do it either. And that is that we believe that because we have so many negative thoughts in our everyday life, that if we did acid, the negative thoughts would be too much to deal with it, or might then end up in us having a bad trip, being stuck in those negative thoughts. So it scares us away from doing it. And that was exactly the reason why I didn't want to do it. It's the reason why I hear most acid virgins tell me when they say they don't want to do it. And look, when they tell me they don't want to do it, I don't push back against it. I say, yeah, it's cool. I get it. FYI, I used to think the same thing, and it couldn't have been further from the truth, but I respect it, because that's another thing. If you go into it with a lot of fear, it might affect it too. You're listening to someone who has never had a bad trip on acid or shrooms. It's me knocking on wood that it continues, but I've been lucky. And I have had a lot of fucked up thoughts, you know. I'm just saying, man, a lot of fucked up thoughts. Yeah. See, I've thought about some fucked up shit throughout my entire life. So I always thought that doing acid or shrooms was a bad idea. I did shrooms before I ever did acid, but I was always more afraid of acid than I was of shrooms. I did acid, dude. Colors were more vibrant. Music was more infective. I was bouncing and jumping around. Like, I was having a great time. Everything was amazing. I just saw and felt the beauty in everything. Like, the word acid was so wrong for it. It was euphoric. That's what it was. It was great. I remember that we did acid that day in Michigan, and the next day we all wanted to do more acid. And the thing about wanting to do more acid is that it never quite hits you the same way as it did the time right before. It's a lot less potent, or if not less potent, it'll just be a different trip. And I didn't know that. So the second time I did acid was the day after the first time I did acid at the same festival. I did it more towards the nighttime, though, too. So it wasn't a daytime trip. It was a nighttime trip at a festival, the last night, too. And that was such a different trip. I think I took 2 tabs that night instead of the 1 tab I took the night before, just to try to like get there. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Either way, I remember like for an hour, my head was stuck in this loop of like, fuck, I'm not high. Fuck, I'm not high. Like, oh, fuck, it's not hitting me. Like, oh, fuck. And then I realized that I've been so obsessed with just not being high or not tripping that I think it is hitting me, and that it's hitting me in this way. It's making me think that I'm not tripping, but I am tripping balls. And like, I was like kind of like fucked up in my head about that. And then everyone else was like tripping in their own way, but it was like a night trip, and we were all the day before, we were all just doing our own thing, going our own separate directions. This time we were all together going to one stage for like the last like 2 or 3 sets of the entire festival. So we were all together at night, and it was a very different trip. And I saw the people were definitely tripping, and I was like, man, all I could think about is the fact that I'm not tripping, but I think that means that I am tripping, man. It was like a fucking, it was, God damn, what's that Christopher Nolan and Leonardo DiCaprio movie? It was Inception, dude. I was like inceptioned by my drug use. I was like, I'm not high, which means that I am high, I'm not high, which means that I am high. If I'm thinking that I'm not high this much, it means that I am high that much. I am really high then. How high am I? I that's what I was obsessed with. I don't know why. For like, I don't know, it felt like an hour. Then, just started, listening to the music. We were at like the main stage, just fucking vibing out. Pretty packed, but like fun. Just, I remember that vibe was just really positive and fun. We all were having a good time. And I remember finally just like, I don't know if it was just the weed, the alcohol, the acid, everything. I finally realized, fuck, yo, I am high, dude. I was just enjoying everything, swaying around. And I remember another one of my best friends, he's been mentioned before on this show, my boy Dave. He was like right in front of me. And I think he was wearing this purple wig all weekend that festival for some reason. It was his first festival ever. He's like headbanging with this purple wig right in front of me. And I remember, like, unprovoked, he just randomly just whips his head around and turns to me like fucking. And he goes, yo, I don't feel shit. And just turns back towards the stage and continues wilding out. And I knew that he was talking about like the acid that we had taken. Plus, by the way, we had all done like fucking Molly and let's just say there was a cocktail stuff going on around that weekend. And it is emblazoned in my mind the moment of Mysteryland that Dave just turned around and goes, I don't feel shit. And just turns right back towards the stage. Turns his back right back to me. He just turned around to yell, not even directly at me, just in my vicinity towards, because I'm next to more friends. Like, it's a bunch of us in a group, like, you know. Some of us in front, some of us in the back. Like, it's just a group of us. It's really fun. He just turns around. I don't feel shit. Turns right back to the stage. Continues rocking out to like Diplo or Skrillex or some shit. I don't feel shit. Let me tell you that for the next hour, I was fucked in the fucking head, bro. Because I just stared at the back of Dave's head and I was like, he doesn't feel shit? Dude, I'm fucked up right now, man. I spent the first hour of this trip thinking I wasn't high, and now I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am flying high, bro. I am on cloud 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. And I'm thinking everyone around me is just as high as me. And then one of my best friends in the entire world makes it a point, unprovoked, to just turn around in the middle of me thinking that, just to yell at me and whoever can hear next to me that I don't feel shit. And then turns right back towards the stage to continue just fucking rocking out. And even though it looked like he was completely fucked up, in my head, I was obsessed for like an hour that Dave was sober right now. Because you couldn't have told me otherwise. I was convinced that Dave was stone cold sober right now. Not drunk, not high, not nothing. You want to know why? Because he turned around and he told me, I don't feel shit. So I was like, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. I kind of feel bad. I don't know what that's like, but he looks like he's having a good time anyways. Like, I don't know what the fuck songs were being played that fucking set, but I could tell you how the back of Dave's head was moving for the entire thing. I was like, man, that's the head of someone that's not fucked up right now. How the fuck is the back of his head moving like that? And he's sober. The back of my head has never looked like that sober. I've always been fucked up when the back of my head moved like that, man. Yo, props to Dave, man. He's like fucking making the best of this night, man. Like if it was me and I took acid and like a bunch of drugs and I drank and I didn't feel fucked up, like I'd be like, damn it, man, my night is ruined. But Dave's here and the back of his head looks like it's having the time of his life, man. So like an hour later, I just tap him on. I tapped him on the shoulder, and I was like, Dave, man, you really don't feel shit? And he turns around. He looks me right in the eyes, and he goes, bro, I'm fucked up. And just turns right back around. Starts rocking out to the stage. And I was there like fucking, like it was a M. Night Shyamalan fucking twist in a Sixth Sense movie all over again. I was like, what? He's been fucked up the whole time? Yo, but that's it. You know what they say about twists in a movie? A lie cannot be a twist. It's just a lie. Well, that's what it was. Dave turned around an hour before and said, I don't feel shit. And you know what? That was a lie. The lie detector test came back and it showed that was a lie. All right? That was a lie, bro. Because you were fucked up. Because an hour later, I tapped Dave on the shoulder and I was like, bro, you really don't feel shit? And he looked at me like I was an idiot. Like I was a moron. Like I was a fool. Like I was this fucking stupid, moronic piece of shit that didn't realize when someone was drunk and fucked up and when someone was sober. He looked at me like I was the one at fault. When I said, bro, you really don't feel shit? He looked at me in disgust. And he's taller than me, so he literally looked down at me. He was like, bro, I'm fucked up. And then didn't even wait to see my reaction. Once again, whipped his head right back towards the stage and turned his back to me in disgust once again to let my mind be fucked by that for another 60 minutes, man. Dave has no idea how much he fucked with my head that night all because I was obsessed with the levels of how everyone was fucked up around me. And for some reason, I was like, Dave's not fucked up. This is not okay. This is not okay. I don't like it. And for an hour, I thought about it, had no solution, and just asked again. And his answer went from, I don't feel shit, to, bro, I'm fucked up. And both times, whipped his head away and turned his back to me immediately. Not mad at it. Bro's in the zone. I have brought this story up to him in the past. Zero recollection of it, by the way. He has zero recollection. You want to know why? Cause, bro, he was fucked up. Maybe I should have used a code word for Dave, too. By the way, Dave is short for a longer name. When he was born, they didn't stop at one syllable. It was two, David. Although Theodore and Teddy would be the same thing. Leonard and Lenny would be the same thing, too. Besides the point. So the point of that is that I want to throw a party, so that my friends can get fucked up too, and so that I can wonder if they're fucked up for hours on end, and then they can tell me whether they are or they're not. And all of my friends are invited. The ones with regular names or the ones with fucked up names, it doesn't matter. Names of all kind are invited. This is a judge-free zone in terms of names. Normal names, stupid names, all welcome. Very progressive here in Bushwick with my Jumanji vines. So, how's that sound? I think I wrapped that all up perfectly in a bow for you guys. I think I think that's good. We'll set up the hammocks. I'll courtesy kick anyone that falls asleep in that hammock overnight. I'll make sure that Dave is fucked up. I'll make sure that if he tells me he's not, I'll be able to detect the lie this time. I, as always, will forgive my friends for having, for their names being wrong. It's not their fault. They're born with it, you know. Lady Gaga has taught me that people are born that way, and that's cool, you know. Lenny and Teddy, you know, you were born with those names, and I love you regardless, you know. Mi corazón is yours. All right. By the way, just remember, you guys, we do have nerves in our elbows. Keep that in mind, and this world will be a much better place. Other than that, do me a favor, like and subscribe to this if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on podcasts, please just maybe give a nice little review for me. Give a nice little subscription there, or you know, just a follow there, something. Just be nice to me, man. Just be nice to me. How about that? I feel like I'm about to sneeze right in the middle of my finish. Perfect timing. And it went away. Great. It went away. I feel like it would have been better if it just came and made me sneeze. Anyways, be sure and rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Follow me at I'm Will Bryant on all platforms. That's Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, even Spotify. That's I'm Will Bryant. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Bryant. Like Kobe. This has been Big Kid with Lil Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. And until next time, peace. I don't feel shit.